Today we have a family day of Thanksgiving, and what this day is we bring in 50 people that are donors, and we bring them into the soup kitchen to help us get ready for the Thanksgiving and the winter holidays.
A family day of Thanksgiving is a really special event for us. Now, the way that it's changed, we've given families an opportunity to come in to our facilities to do a little volunteering. They do it together. It's a good thing for the families to get together. And it's also a really wonderful thing, especially for parents, to be able to show their children how to give back and how important it is to give back to people that may not have as much as the rest of us have.
15 or 20 years ago, a friend of the inn said, well, you should do something for Thanksgiving because a lot of people think about a soup kitchen on Thanksgiving. And we decided to have what we call a day of Thanksgiving. And the format at that time was people would come to the inn soup kitchen and they'd have a family-style Thanksgiving meal.
It morphed from an event where we used to have raffles and things like that, but what the feedback we got from the volunteers was that they really just wanted to come and volunteer. So we created the day so people could bring their families that otherwise can't get in during the week. We have this one Saturday for a couple hours where we're able to open up and they can volunteer and they can really expose their family to come and see what it is that we do here at the inn.
I went and took my family to a day of Thanksgiving at the inn. It was one of the most eye-opening days I think that we've ever been to. My husband and my children have never been, and it was one of the best experiences that we could have given our children.
People are in a very giving mood at this time of year, and it's wonderful for us because we have thousands of guests that come to us that don't have any other way to get a Thanksgiving meal. There might be families that don't have anywhere to go that are going to come to the soup kitchen on Thanksgiving Day and sit down and have a hot meal. And there are some families that are going to take the turkeys and the side dishes that we distribute and take them wherever they're going to go so that they can make their own Thanksgiving meal. So we do both.
I am the executive director of the inn. I've been with the inn since it started in 1983, and I've been working here as executive director since 1993. We're here to serve people who no one else was concerned about. At that time, it didn't seem, because they didn't know they existed, let alone that they had to be concerned about them. So, but now we're grateful after all these years that we've perfected each year what needs to be done.
So we have groups coming in to help us sort fixing bags for Thanksgiving. We have groups coming in to help us sort toiletries that will go into the boutique for our guests. We have groups coming in that help us make placemats. So we ask everybody to channel their inner child and color fall-themed placemats that will then laminate and put out on the Thanksgiving holiday that the guests can either take home or will keep. And this way they have a nice little area to sit down when they have their Thanksgiving meal. And then we have groups coming in that are helping us prepare the boutique for next week for the guests to shop.
You really do get a feel of what it is to volunteer and to be here. In terms of the need, there's so much more need now than there was when I first started 6 years ago. I mean, there's always a need, there's always hunger insecurity, but now you can just see people can't make ends meet in the grocery store, so they're relying on the food pantry more and more.
For us at the inn, in our world, it's changed a lot because the price of food is rising so rapidly. Even for everybody, you notice it when you go to the supermarket and you do grocery shopping, you notice how much food is costing these days. That's taking its toll on all the guests that we serve.
It's not just getting together and eating, but, be grateful for what you have. And I know from my volunteering here, it really keeps your feet on the ground. So we thought maybe, these folks would be a teaching moment for their children that, you're very lucky to have a home and a refrigerator full of food because the people who come to the inn soup kitchen don't have that.
I have two boys, ages 6 and 9 years old, and it's very hard to teach children with just words. They have to see it to believe it. And sometimes they don't necessarily maybe understand, but I think being at the Mary Brennan Kitchen, they understood it. Being at the inn, they understood it, they saw it, they felt it. And that's very important for a child, is to actually feel something, not just feel it and see it, not just a have their parents talk about it because they don't know how real it is.
So the families came in with this high energy, ready to work, ready to help our guests in a way that they'll never get to meet the guests today, but yet they're doing tasks that are so important for our guests on an everyday need. So today we're here, we're high energy, we're moving around, it's a hustle and bustle of everything, and I get to be here and just witness just the generosity and the great energy and the excitement that we have here in the community.
The kids really enjoyed doing the food bags because they love going grocery shopping. That was definitely their favorite part, is putting the food in the bag and then having to tie it up and then, feeling like they contributed to somebody else's meal, not just their own.
I think it's wonderful to give back, and I think it's necessary to give back. And it's good to show your children that you do that, so they become those people later on in their lives. And I give whatever time I can give.
You see families bringing their, 5, 6, 7-year-old kid here. They're learning from that age that giving and giving back is important, and that's like the most important thing you can teach your children. So this day allows you to take your children and give them the experience, to teach them that, what it is to give back and what it is to help people who don't have as much as yours. So that's like the main point of the whole day and doing it this way.
The guests that we serve are always very grateful for what they're given. If you can imagine, they might not have anywhere else to go. They might not have any resources to have another meal. So when they come here, their demeanor is always usually very calm and very grateful. And that's something that's really nice to see. It's a really special place to be and to witness, to see what the guests are coming in to do. But at the end of the day, our hope is that they won't have to come here anymore.
We're trying to go out of business, so we hope that for everybody who uses us, that they use us and then they go away. We don't need anybody to aspire to become a regular here. Our goal is, why are you here? We can't ask you questions here, but next door in our buildings, we sit down and say, can you tell us what's going on and what can we do to help you?
Maybe some people aren't able to donate as much as they were before because food is so expensive. So we're hoping that there's people that can give, even if it's just a can, even if it's a box, even if it's something that maybe you thought you wanted and didn't want anymore, but is still good enough for somebody to eat. If it's not expired and it's not a broken box or a dented can, we will take it. If people want to have food drives, that we welcome that as well.
I would always recommend, and I have always recommended the Inn because I truly believe charity starts at home. As far as word of mouth, I think that's a great way to get the message across. Going online, contributing is another very good way. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to always physically be there, but you can go online and you can actually make a contribution to people who really need it.
Everybody wants to see what does a guest look like and what have you, and we feel that the guests are ourselves. So our faces are like mirrors. We look in the face of a guest. It reflects back to us. If someone wants to know what does a guest look like, this is what a guest looks like. I looked at a guest, my face is a mirror, this is what a guest looks like.